Hi everyone, it's nice to be with you today. We've been looking at the mind in different ways, looking at this little mind inside our head, how it constructs a reality and believes it's true, what it's seeing and constructing. And then it starts to worry about that. It needs to secure itself within that world. Today we'll look again at the concerns that this little mind has, this egoic person within our head, this me person that we seem to spend our whole lives devoted to. And we'll break down these concerns into 8 simple classifications that you can look for as you watch your own mind. First, close your eyes. Have a big breath in and a deep sigh. Just check in on how you're feeling right now. Now start to focus on the feeling of your body as you sit here in a space. And in particular, focus on how it is breathing right now. And then again, have a big breath in and a deep sigh. And then open your eyes. We want to look at our own mind. To be able to apply these ideas, you need to see them in yourself, or at least have a look. And usually at the start of a meditation session, most people can't settle immediately, can't concentrate. We've got too much stuff on our mind, stuff we've been caught up in our activities and dramas. This will come through in our thinking. So we're going to have a few minutes to quieten and take some time to think. But I want you to watch for your thinking mind and look at the idea that this little mind inside our head, this thinking mind, has constructed a reality that it believes is true, the way that it is seeing it, and it is worrying about it. That's what the thinking is. So let's open up the thinking. Let's let it run, and you can see yourself doing it. But we're going to use the breath, the tool of the breath. The breath is so powerful in meditation, in yoga. The more you open up your breathing, the more quickly you will progress. So, close your eyes. We'll start breathing only through the nose. We want to open up the breath a little bit, but not in an extreme way. So just start to breathe a little bit more slowly and deeply towards full and empty, but nowhere near the top or bottom. Just open up your range a little bit. Make sure this is very easy and comfortable. And now let's have a few minutes where you are opening yourself up from within using the tool of the breathing. A slow, gentle, deeper breath. And then just have some time for thinking. Luckily, we don't need to prompt you to think. Your mind, once it's left still and quiet, will start thinking. Relax the breathing. And have a deep sigh. Feel your body returning to normal breathing, natural breathing. Okay, so we've just had a chance to see our own mind doing what I've been describing. Perhaps your mind didn't do that. That's for you to be checking. If you are lost in thought about anything that exists in this world, in this reality of yours, where you think you're a person and there are other people, and then you are thinking about any of that, then you are doing exactly what I'm talking about. What we need to do is take our awareness, our insight, to another level. We need to classify the thinking, the worrying. So most thinking is worrying, where our egoic mind is seeking control and seeking to resolve problems, perceived problems, constructed problems. So we have a great little mechanism for this, part of Buddhist mind training. The 8 worldly concerns. This is a definition of how the mind functions and essentially what it is doing when it's worrying or what it is worrying about. So I'd just like to read these to you and try to explain them just a little bit, and then give you a chance to look for them yourself within your own thinking mind. So the 8 worldly concerns are 4 groups of 2, of pairs. The pairs relate to each other. They are in fact opposites of each other. So there are 4 couplets. The first 2. We have a desire for happiness, or a hope for happiness, and a fear of suffering. You can see these 2 go together. So, desire for happiness. Well, that's pretty obvious, pretty simple. All day long, we want to be happy. Almost all of our actions and reactions are based on the desire or hope for happiness. So it's a big preoccupation. And on the other side of that, we fear suffering. And most of our actions and emotional reactions, and anxieties in particular, are about fear of suffering. We are desperately trying to avoid anything going wrong because we will not like that. Number 3, desire for importance. Another word they use here is fame. We want to be recognized. We wanted to be considered someone of importance. And most people really still want to be famous. But just even in a small way, in a small world, we want to be recognized, noticed, and considered important, particularly in our relationships. Conversely, we have a deep-seated fear of insignificance. We really do not want to be considered unimportant, not noticed, disregarded. We fear insignificance. The next two, we have a desire for praise and a fear of criticism. These are lethal. A lot of our emotions are tied in here, and then our anger very much comes up here. So yes, a desire for praise. So a lot of us are very worried about how we are judged, and we want to be approved of. So a lot of our communications, expressions, the way we construct our personality, our face in society is very much about we want to be approved of. This is another way of describing the idea of praise. We want to be praised. And we also now obsessively overpraise children in schools and in parenting because of this very complicated neurosis that we have. So we are overpraising now because we are so scared of criticism, and we really feel that self-worth is linked with being approved of by others. This is very dangerous. Emotionally, makes us very vulnerable. Yes, and the fear of criticism, this is so strong. So watch yourself during the day, how often you react to any type of negative response from people. This is so violent, emotionally, psychologically violent. We are so sensitive to this, and therefore we are easily hurt. And then we usually respond with anger. We often attack or defend. We feel the need to defend ourselves. Fear of criticism drives so many of us, and it's a very exhausting emotion and need deep concern. The last two, desire for gain and fear of loss. These are very significant also, very dominant players in the background of our lives. So we pretty much don't do anything if we don't think we're going to get something out of it. In fact, most of our activities are about trying to get what we want. And that might include appearing like we don't want to get what we want, but we are still doing that deliberately. Would you do your job if you didn't get paid? If you thought you weren't going to learn and get a better feeling, would you meditate? And then a big one, particularly if you're watching this during the coronavirus time, fear of loss. Wow, this is very strong. We really try to protect ourselves and our family so obsessively. We are driven to protect and avoid losing what we have. This includes the notion of insurance. We don't want to lose what we've worked to get. We don't want to lose our rights, our freedom. We don't want to lose face. We don't want to lose any money. And we react so strongly if we think we're going to lose something. Okay, let's have a couple of minutes to think about that. It's really good to use the breath to facilitate the contemplation. Really what the breath does is it opens up your unconscious mind. So as you're chewing on these ideas, exploring them, thinking about them, use the breath. This will help you. So close your eyes, start breathing through the nose just a little bit more openly, slowly, of course. Slow in towards full, slow out towards empty, not pushing the boundaries, just nice and easy. And let's have a think about some of these ideas I've just raised. Look for them in your own mind and perhaps the minds of others. Relax the breathing. Have a deep sigh. If you want, loosen your legs a little bit, hips. You can take the arms behind you, lengthen your back. Could swap the legs over, straighten them, and then change. Okay, so they are called the 8 worldly concerns. These are ways of categorizing thought processes, deep unconscious behaviors or gestures. And what we need to do with this type of mind training is refer to these 8 and refer again and again. So what I do every morning and evening in my meditation practice, I come back to these every morning, every night, at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. And I consider all the stuff I got caught up in, either yesterday or what I have worried about during the day. There's no problem for me to find this. It's right there in all of my thinking. My little mind thinking about this world that it is actually constructed. It constructs and then worries about it. So I keep coming back to these 8 categories and I think, oh gee, I was really doing that one today. Wow. And then I think, now come on. I know that I don't need to be behaving like that. I don't need to be feeling like that or doing that again. Why am I still stuck in these silly, small-minded games, these concerns, these worries? It's unnecessary. But I must understand that it is unnecessary. And this is where we need to use the wisdom and insight of all the yoga and Buddhist teachings and practices, the education, the analysis of the mind as we understand what it means to be trapped inside small-minded self-cherishing, or to be open and free of fear, constraint, limitation, doubt. So that's what this practice is all about. That's what these ideas, these 8 worldly concerns are about. If you use them, study them, and study your own mind, you may find that you do the same sorts of things all the time. If you can distinguish that, that's a good start. See how you do these 8 categories. Okay, that's enough for today. Have a big breath in. Before we go, just check, is your mind relaxed? Settled? Or is it full of ideas? Is it racing? Or is it tired? If you're tired, I recommend you lie down at the end of this and have a little rest. And don't forget that you can use the breathing to oxygenate, and this will give you energy back. Okay, thank you for today. I hope it's been helpful. Please share this course, this meditation course, this channel to others, but only if you think that it's of use to do this work. Also, if you ever feel like donating, you can go to my website. That would be much appreciated. Please like these videos if you do like them. Click like. That really makes a difference to me. And on any previous ones, if you've liked them, would make a great help. Thank you. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. All the best.